What's going on, everybody? It's Nick from Rightly Dividing the Word of Truth. And I'm doing something I haven't really done on this channel before. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and initial impressions on a Bible that I recently picked up at a WTS Bookstore sale. So if you're not familiar with the WTS Bookstore, it is the bookstore of Westminster Theological Seminary in Glenside, Pennsylvania. This is a Reformed seminary. They offer plenty of good books at good discounts, oftentimes beating out Amazon. So go over, check them out. You can get a lot of good stuff. With that said, I got an email almost 2 weeks ago announcing a 70% off ESV Premium Bible sale. Now, I really wasn't in the market for another premium ESV. I have dozens and dozens of English Standard versions. I have a couple premium English Standard versions, but I decided to peruse the sale and see if anything caught my interest. Now, on initial glance, I really didn't see anything that just screamed out, I gotta have it. After going back, I did see something that caught my eye, and that is the Bible that we have before us today. So this is an ESV Heirloom Bible, Alpha Edition, and this is in black goatskin. So if we turn the box over, there's some information on the back here. And this says, the ESV Heirloom Bible Alpha Edition combines elegance with readability and portability. Bound with a premium goatskin leather cover and printed on high-quality paper, it also features a generous font size, spacious layout, and portable trim size. Guaranteed to last a lifetime, this Bible is a treasure for anyone who values God's Word. And here are the features of the Bible. It says there are 2 ribbon markers, art gilding, high-quality European Bible paper, extra smooth sewn binding, 8-point type, and I'm not sure how well that corresponds to a generous font size. 8-point type is on the smaller end of type. Portable trim size, double column layout, printed and bound by Royal John Blood in the Netherlands, premium leather cover, lifetime guarantee. So, Royal John Blood is the premier Bible printer, and I learned this many years ago by reading a blog by a guy named Mark Bertrand. He reviews, or at least did review, every premium Bible you could possibly imagine, from Schuyler to Allen to these premium ESVs and everything in between. So, without further ado, let's dig into this. Pull the cover off. Okay, so here they have a pledge card, and I'm not going to read the entire thing, but this basically says they're using high quality materials. They're saying the hides have unique characteristics, and they're saying that this is guaranteed to last a lifetime, and if there is a defect, they will replace it with a Bible that is comparable. Now, I can attest to the truthfulness of this promise to replace a Bible that's comparable. Many years ago, I received for review from Crossway an ESV personal-sized reference Bible, and that was in black black cowhide, if I'm not mistaken. So the cover completely came apart from the text block, and I contacted Crossway, didn't hear anything back, and I figured, it was a review copy, beggars can't be choosers, I got it for free anyway, I'll just let it slide. And then I came across the pledge to replace Bibles with comparable Bibles, many months down the line or whatever, and I contacted them again, and they replied this time. They didn't carry that particular Bible anymore, but rather they started producing this one. So this is an ESV personal size reference Bible. It's in single column format. They didn't have the genuine leather option, so this is their true tone. But this is a wonderful Bible. This is the Bible I generally carry around with me everywhere. It often stays in my car, so wherever I'm at, I have a Bible. And yeah, this was the replacement, but they do honor that pledge. Now, having said that, this is wrapped in some sort of I don't know if this is suede or velvet.
This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
All right, let's remove the Bible. Let's get rid of these boxes. So immediately, I'm met by a very soft, supple, flexible leather. The inside, I believe they call this edge-lined, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I'm not a Bible reviewer, so I don't know all of the terminology. But very, very nice, very soft. You can see just how floppy it is. Look at the way that it rolls here. Very nice, and then comes right back. So, off the bat, feels great. Now, we're going to have the usual branding on there. Holy Bible, ESV, English Standard Version, Crossway. So, Crossway, this is a smaller Bible. There's not as much room on the spine, but they tend to overbrand. So you see ESV, the logo, and then it says English Standard Version. So that's a bit of overkill. Either way, there are 4 raised hubs on the spine. And yeah, very nice. Now, I don't know why this initial page has this thicker piece in here. I'm sure there's a reason for that. But when I see that, it makes me nervous that these Bibles won't lay flat at Genesis. That always makes me nervous. But as I'm looking at this, it has a very nice pebbly grain. Let's see if I could zoom in on that for you. So you can see very nice grain to this goat skin. Not a strong smell. Goat skin doesn't really smell the same way that cowhide does, but very nice grain. So let's zoom back out here and let's check out the initial pages. So here's your presentation page, Holy Bible. They have one for marriages, births, adoptions, and deaths. So I guess the idea with all of these type Bibles is that you'll pass them on down your family line. This is the 2016 ESV text, if I'm not mistaken. So yep, there we go. This is the 2000 ESV text edition, which you can see right there. And very nice, high quality paper. The text is line matched, which means that all the lines on the other side are exactly the same height as that, so that helps with ghosting. Now, my hands are off it. It is open at Genesis, and it's staying open. These pages on the left look like they want to shut, but for the moment, not too bad. But yeah, so we can see, you can see how well that line matching is. So no problem with seeing this text. It is on the smaller side. I will say that 8 point is not huge, but I'm a little more than, I don't know, I'd say I'm probably roughly 18 inches away from this, and I'm able to make it out. So that's pretty good, and my eyes are failing. I'm not wearing my glasses right now. So as we go through, you can see, let's zoom out again. You can see the pages here have an orange muted red hue to them, and when you hold it this way, you see the gilding. There are 2 ribbon markers here. Let's pull these out. So that's 1, 2. Okay, so you know a ribbon marker is a ribbon marker is a ribbon marker. If you've seen one, you've seen them all, but these are on the smaller side. Now, I could tell immediately these are short. Like, as I go to pull, look at that. It's barely making it over to the spot. And then they're thin. These are about 1/4 of an inch thick. So, for a premium Bible, for a Bible that retailed at $300, I believe it was $299.99. That was the retail. With the sale, I think it was $85.99. But for a Bible that retails for $300, you would expect a little bit more out of the ribbon markers. And I'll show you what I'm talking about in a moment. Now, having said that, it's a ribbon marker. It's not, you're not going to buy or not buy a Bible based on the ribbon marker. But you can see this is a no frills text. There are no footnotes, or I should say no cross references. You do have certain little footnotes in the bottom. These are generally translation notes, but that's it. It does not have generous margins. These are very thin margins. They're not the kind of margins you're going to take notes in. And I'll show you a couple of other Bibles in a moment. But yeah, this is a no frills. This is a Bible to carry around and read. If you want a Bible for church that you're just going to read as your pastor is reading, this would be the kind to bring in. If you go to a more liturgical church, you probably wouldn't bring this in, but if you want to read it with your morning prayers and your devotional time, this would be a good option for that. So again, double column layout, very nice. The text, the 8-point, could be larger, but for a Bible of this size, and the size is, if we pull out our ruler here, so let's see what we got. So it's not picking up just because of the angle on the camera, but it's about 7 3/4. Let me lift that up a bit. So you can see it's about 7 3/4 in height, and it is 5.5 inches wide. So 7 3/4 inches tall, 5.5 wide. This, I believe, is slightly larger than this one that I showed you earlier. Yeah, by just a hair. So if you were to pull it up, you can't really see it from there, but you can see that the premium goat skin is about 1/4 inch wider, and these are the same height. And this one is slightly thinner. So, initial impressions, I like it a lot. It's very soft, very floppy. What do we have? We have some maps in the back. I don't know how many people take advantage of their Bible maps. I was never really a big fan of maps in the back of a Bible until I did a deep dive into the book of Acts. And when you start looking at a map and you could see Paul's missionary journeys, it really comes to life for you. You see how far he traveled, how long it would have taken him to get where he was going. So they are helpful. What do we have here? We have one blank page in the back, and it looks like a couple more. Yeah, so that first blank page was Bible paper. These are thicker, more cardstock-like pages. So if you want to jot some notes in the back of your Bible, you have that option. Very nice. Now, how does this stack up to other premium ESV Bibles? Well, let's look at my ESV Heirloom Legacy Edition. Now, you're going to notice immediately a significant size difference, right? So you see that right off the bat. This Legacy Edition is much larger. Similar grains in the goat skin. That's very nice. Now, this one obviously is bound in blue leather. And when we're talking about the ESV branding, you could see here it says ESV, then it has a logo, then it says English Standard Version. So this one really went overboard with 3 things. But again, super soft, floppy, same page lining. You got that perimeter stitching on the inside. This has that as well. Right there, that gold stitching. You can see the stitching down here is very nice. This has that as well. Now, this one is a single column layout, and this is based on their idea of the perfect page. Okay, so generous margins, margins that you can take notes in. You can see up here I have some notes jotted down. Very, very wide margins. Now, this one also came with these little 1/4 inch ribbon markers. I added a couple of my own. So these are about 3/8, and they just feel better. They look better. They feel better. You know, they're all the same in terms of functionality, but with these kinds of Bibles, you know, you want something a bit more substantial. At least I do. But yeah, so you can see. Here you go. Here's a page with plenty of notes on it. So, generous margins at the top, the bottom, the sides here. The margins on the inside, not quite as wide, but you could still get a little bit in there. Whereas with this Bible, the inner margins, I really don't think you're going to get much. And quite honestly, the outer margins are about the same. So, the gutter very thin, the outer very thin. You could develop a system of notating where you could leave symbols and have that correspond to something, maybe write what that corresponds to on those back pages, but I can't see you taking any significant amount of notes. So again, this is the ESV, this is an Heirloom Legacy Bible, and now we have another Heirloom Bible, and this is the wide margin reference edition. So in terms of layout, this is similar to this in that they're both double column. But where this differs is down at the bottom of the page here, you have cross references. So if I could zoom in on that for you. Let that focus in. All right, so we can see these cross references down at the bottom. And this also has a wide margin all the way around. So bottom, sides, top, not as much. But there is room for taking notes in this Bible as well. Again, I'll zoom out in a second. But again with this Bible, let's zoom out for you. We are met with these thin ribbon markers. Now this one comes with 4. They're all different colors. Very nice looking. I think they match the dark brown leather well. But again, for something so expensive and something that is touted as premium, you know, you're going to expect a bit more from it. But again, you can see, you know, plenty of room in the margins to take notes with this one. So yeah, that's the deal. I was not initially in the market for a Bible, but I saw one that was different from others that I had. This will probably replace this for me. They both have their purposes. Again, this one has cross references. This one does not. But if I'm just carrying a Bible around to read, I don't necessarily need cross references. I just want something to be able to open the scriptures and to read the word. I'm not necessarily doing a detailed study or anything where I'm going to want to be going back and forth and really digging into the text. This, I would say, is more for devotional use. Yeah, but that's it. Again, you know, love the leather. Love the feel of it. If I were to preach from this Bible, it would sit nicely in the hand. I probably wouldn't preach from it, though, just because the text is on the smaller side and my eyesight is failing. But overall, very happy with it. And again, I picked this up for $85.99, and I happen to have $14 in rewards stacked up with the WTS Bookstore, so I applied that. After tax, so it was like $5 in tax, $5 to ship it. I ended up getting this for like $82 total. So marked down from $300, that's a steal. It's added to the collection, and I hope to enjoy it for years to come. All right, with that said, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. God bless.